Alfred Witte called the first trans-Neptunian planet Capito, and when we look at this symbol closely, you'll see that it's actually a combination of Venus and Jupiter, so it's kind of like a super Venus. Witte decided on Capito because love and relationship are communal in nature. So in manifestation, they involve this component of harmonious companionship. So when we look at the effect of Capito in a birth chart, we're looking at things where companionship and partnerships are the main component. So this has many implications. Organizations, family, social relations, clubs, corporations, many different kinds of partnerships. And since Venus also is all about the aesthetic, beauty, and art, it could deal with creative, cooperative ventures. So on its own, Capito is also a fairly neutral planet. So we really need to see what else it's dancing with in the chart to get a realistic picture of how Capito is operating. Let's look at a few examples. So this first chart is the chart of Madonna, and when we look around the meridian, and again, the meridian is the most important point in Uranian astrology because it's like a snapshot of the soul. It's what we really want to do and achieve regardless of whether it brings attention and recognition from the outside. So when we look around the meridian, we get this Venus Capito midpoint structure. Now again, the Capito has a lot to do with partnerships, communions, and with the Venus involved, we get creative partnerships, relationships. This next chart we're going to look at is the chart of Adolf Hitler. Now, around the meridian, Adolf Hitler has a Capito-Poseidon midpoint structure. Now, we know what Capito is, which is communities or partnerships, types of partnerships. What Poseidon is all about is shining the light on something. Poseidon is about ideologies, it's about philosophies. So when Capito and Poseidon come together, you have communities or groups that have specific worldviews. There can be an idealistic view or a perfectionistic approach to what structure should be like. The next chart we're going to look at is actually an event. It's the wedding of Prince Charles and Diana. Now, it's important to note here that while the meridian would still be the snapshot of the soul of this event, its point of individuality, the meridian is also the actual minute or moment in time. So, for instance, if they were married at 11:17 a.m., which puts the meridian here, even if the marriage took place a few minutes later, say 11:30 a.m., the meridian moves into this position and the whole picture changes. And when the picture changes, so does all of the information around the meridian. So you can see here why the meridian is so personal. At the moment of marriage, what we have is a Capito-Kronos midpoint structure. Now, Kronos is another one of the Neptunian planets, and it is about all things that are high up, literally and figuratively. So anything from bureaucracies to government to leadership, positions, the boss, and also everything that is above average, such as someone who is an expert or integrity. So Capito-Kronos is also one of the midpoint structures for marriage. But the Kronos also gives an edge of distinguished and illustrious societies, high social positions, as well as being family celebrations and gatherings. So you can see at the actual moment of their union, this midpoint structure is right on point. Next up, actor Uma Thurman. Here we have a Jupiter-Capito midpoint structure on the side of the meridian, but you see it still fulfills that criteria for a midpoint because it is equidistant to the axis. Now, Jupiter is traditionally known as the planet of good luck and good fortune, but Jupiter is much more than that. It expands whatever it touches with faith, optimism, contentment, and a consciousness of aim. So it's easy to see why it's labeled the planet of luck. Jupiter Capito around the meridian indicates someone who has successful partnerships. It may not necessarily be in the romantic area. We'd have to look deeper to confirm that, but certainly in the area of career, because remember, the meridian has everything to do with the career from the standpoint of individuality. This is someone who gets along well with people and people really like her. And since Jupiter expands the Capito energy, it can also represent someone who appears in the public as an artist. If you enjoyed learning about Capito and want to find out where Capito is located in your own natal birth chart, just go to my website, theuranianastrologer.com, and select the tab, The Trans-Neptunians, where you'll find directions on how to obtain a free Western style or traditional chart with all the Trans-Neptunians in it. And to take a video tour of the 7 other Trans-Neptunians, you can visit me at YouTube, Vimeo, Facebook, or visit my website, theuranianastrologer.com.